This is my first live video on YouTube. I've done 50 or more videos on Facebook Live at Rockin H Farm Toys on Facebook, and I thought, well, why not do something here on YouTube for people who are subscribers here? So let me briefly explain what it is I'm doing. This is actually what I want to say, like the fourth video in a series of videos I've been doing, showing how to make an Australian Super B train in 1/60 scale. I had a guy commission this, and I took the project on. So what I did was went ahead and measured a flat spot here. It's 3/8 inch wide, and then curved all of this here and put these two little flanges. What's up from Michigan? Well, I am working on a Super B train, 1/64 scale Super B train out of brass for a good guy out of, obviously, Australia, and I'm showing you guys how to do it. So this is what I've got so far. Now you'll notice it's not perfect. These are handmade. Never made one of these before. I'm not making excuses, but they're handmade, just doing what I can to make this look as authentic as I can with the skills that I have. So if you've watched any of my live videos on Facebook Live, you'll understand that I'm kind of a crash test dummy, showing people how to make 1/64 scale models. So where we're at today, what we're going to do here in this video is I'm going to actually solder this onto my piece, to the frame, and this is what we're going to solder it to right here. I cut this out because, and I'll show you here, I have to make this piece right here. This is where the hoist is going to go. Okay, this is a DCP Mac end dump, and so I've cut this slot out so we can have a slot for the hoist. And then I've got, I have a video where I showed how to bend this piece, which is actually going to go in here like so at some point, and then I'll put a cap on top of it so I could drill, blah, 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 and then the hoist will actually slide up in here when the trailer is stationary. There we go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see me solder, and then you know, we'll see how it goes. Now, again, this may or may not work. I mean, the result, this just may not work. We'll see how it goes, right? Here we go. Okay, so this is my workbench, and I am a huge champion of the following idea. One, if you're only going to make 1 or 2 or 3 models, don't go out and buy a bunch of expensive tools. Use what you happen to have on hand. Now, I don't do as much soldering as I once did, and all I have is this scrap piece of lumber to solder on. You'll see I've already done some soldering here. You know, it's what I have, so that's what I'm going to use, and it's okay. I don't intend to do any more of these. I want to do these two for the challenge of it and see how it goes. And frankly, you do need to have some patience and a little bit of time and skill on your hands. But I mean, anyone can, if I can do this, anyone can. That's kind of my notion. So what I'm just kind of test dry fitting this before I go ahead and solder it in. I'm going to kind of push this. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on it with this plier. I'm just having this plier hold it in place while I kind of figure out what I want to do. And then I'm going to solder the front and then up the sides. So here we go. I'm using lead-free solder, 0.032 inch. Bought this from an electronics store. Nothing fancy there. I am using paste flux right here. Nothing fancy, just bought this at the hardware store. And then I'm using way too much torch, but I really like using this torch. It just works for me. And my soldering iron I have it would just take too long to get that bottom piece of the floor, of the this brass piece of floor take too long to get that warmed up. So what I'm going to do is get me some flux here. I'm going to stick it down here and over here. And if you go and watch videos on YouTube about soldering, I don't do it necessarily the way the pros do it. I just do what works for me and gets me the results that I want. And that's what you're going to see me do. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do is put my heat on the inside so I don't light my lumber on fire. I don't mind getting it warm, but I certainly don't want to light the place up. So I'm going to try and get that heat. Well, maybe not. Not going to be a good place to get my heat, so we're just going to go with it right here. And we're just going to stick that right there. And you'll notice that my front piece warmed up a lot faster than... Ooh, look at that. There we go. Now, I've got way too much solder there for what's good, but that's okay, because I'm going to have to trim off this tab anyway, and then I'm going to put some heat on the inside as well. And you'll notice I'm getting my lumber there kind of cozy. Oh, crap. Got a little solder where I didn't want it, but I can sand that off. That's not a big deal. Come on, flow, you goofball. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to let that chill out for a minute. Okay. So I got that moved off. Now I'm going to come in the side here. I'm going to try and draw some of that solder into... Actually, I'm just going to do it this way. And again, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll know that I have very few rules when it comes to this, to making models. Most of my rules are pretty simple. If you're doing something that gets you the models you want, you're doing it right. Okay, now we're just going to warm that up. There we go. And we're going to get that. Yeah, that's what I want right there. And the solder does run to heat, so wherever you put your heat is where your solder is going to go. There we go. So what's that solder right in there? There we go. Nice globbery joint right there. Now we're going to open. What I'm going to have to do is get this, get the sides to. I need to open these up just a little bit, kind of cozy here, because I just got them good and hot. Not a worry, we're just going to see if we can spread that out this way. Will that work? Nope. Okay. All right. And we got to come up with something else. So what we're going to do is think this through. Actually, I just need something to spread that out just a little bit, and that would be handy. That would be just right there. So here's what we'll do. Let's see if we can do something here. There. Kind of. Okay, I'm thinking I can roll with that. So I'm going to try and get this set so you guys can see it. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to put a bit of flux on my solder here. We're just going to let this roll down. Okay, we had solder, we had flux on it. I gotta change hands quick. There we go. There we go. I can see it moving in that joint. Now that that's set, we can kind of... Okay. I want to move that out just a little bit. Okay. Come on. Okay, well, I think that one may be as good as it's gonna get. This is what happens when you don't have exactly what you need to make that thing work the way you want it to. This is all kind of a chaotic mess here. Okay. That's not working, so we got to come up with a better plan. I got my joint soldered, as you can see, but it'd be useful if it was just spread out just a hair more. That would be better. And I actually might be able to bend that just a bit. We can try just putting a bit of solder right here. There we go. And a little bit more inside there. Okay. That will not break. We're going to take that and go with it. And I'm going to try and just bend that out just a little bit. That will probably get us results we want. Okay. Okay, I think I can handle that. And again, if you're just joining, you'll notice this is not an ideal situation to be working in. But as I tell people on my Facebook channel, or Facebook page, when I do these live shows, don't let lack of tools or the perfect environment in which to make models keep you from making models, because you don't have to have fancy tools and you don't have to have the perfect environment. You just got to start building and making, which is what I'm doing here. Never made one of these before and don't have a great plan, so we're just going with it. Okay, this time I think I'm going to try and heat the outside first. There we go. Whoop. There, now you can see. And we're going to start at the bottom on this one. There she goes. There. Perfect. Perfect. And maybe just a taste more solder right there at the top. Yeah, that's what we want right there. Oh, looks like I got some impurities. It's not moving. There we go. Okay. What I'll do is I'll clean up these edges a bit. I'm going to trim all this off right here. This is going to get trimmed off because the real trailer has all of this, doesn't have these tabs in front. This is just a rounded nose on that. And then we're going to keep on moving forward. If you'd like to see the rest of this trailer come forward, please tune in to Rockin H Farm Toys on Facebook or here. The videos will all end up on YouTube at some point, and we will hopefully teach you how to make great models. All right, with that, I thank you much. Bye.